Hey everyone, it's James Vagley here. Welcome to another episode of the MBA podcast. It's episode 182, and I've got Ash Plaisted, as always. How are you? Man in black.
Yeah, it's very rare to find me in anything other than black, James. But and likewise, I'm really well. Looking forward to this one. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And yeah, well, always in black. It's just easier. You can't see the food stains. It's
Don't tell
I don't
people
know.
our secrets.
That's listeners. I hope you're doing good. It's a continuation this month in the trusted advisor space. So we've been talking about what customers want, how to master your client meetings. Those are the last two episodes you might want to check out. Today, we're talking about how to cross sell, upsell, side sell, whatever you'd like to, tack on without actually having to sell. And what we see in the marketplace is pretty common, isn't it, Ash? It's the McDonald's. Do you want fries with that methodology? It's the you've ordered a burger. By the way, do you want to order fries with that? Now, yeah, for McDonald's, that worked pretty well. They realized that X% of people took the upsell because it's easy. It's a burger, right?
Yeah.
We're not in the burger industry, listeners. We're in finance. So we don't sell a mortgage and then go, do you want insurance with that? Do you want to see a financial planner? Do you want to, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work. It's not the right approach. And then I think a lot of brokers that might be listening to this wonder why it doesn't work. They try to add on, well, we've seen big brands try to do it. They've tried to add on accounting, financial planning services. A lot of brokers do offer the insurance, the life insurance, and the income protection style add-ons. And again, there's a take-up rate, but it's not great
Hmm.
uh, for the most part. And there's a big reason why we're going to talk about it today. So, where do you want to kick off, Ash?
Well, I, there's some big secrets going to get revealed in this episode, but I'll come back to that. Um,
Oh,
the McDonald's, look, there's so much to learn from McDonald's, right? System, production line, many other things. One thing we don't want to learn from McDonald's is trying to upsell people. I agree wholeheartedly. So now let's go back to the central premise here and how this connects to our previous episodes. And, you know, how do you go forward with a integrated or diversified offering to your clients, whether you build that in-house, whether you feed it out to a cohort of integrated business partners, or whether you might be an accounting business now and you're looking to add mortgage broking, or vice versa. So this all comes from shifting status, in my opinion, right? I think way, way, way too many brokers, way, 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 if not all financial planners, all insurance brokers, all accountants, all lawyers, all consider themselves to have higher status than mortgage brokers. Not better people, but more important people, more important to their clients' lives. They see mortgage brokers still as a provider of a service that feeds off something else. That's one of the big secrets of why accounting businesses and other professional services businesses really, really struggle to build their own in-house mortgage divisions is they consider a mortgage to be downstream from their service. The truth is, listeners, and I can validate this from my lifetime of experience, is the mortgage sits at the top of the waterfall, not somewhere towards the bottom. The mortgage is the ticket to talk about everything else, not the other way around. So the sooner you guys all shift your mind away from seeing yourself as a downstream provider of service, but an equal status at the very least of all these other providers, and actually start to think of yourself as being the font of this diversified relationship, not one of the participants downstream. Does that make sense, James?
oh yeah, yeah. The shifting status is key. And you brought up accounting businesses and financial planning businesses. There's a lot of them that sit there with 1,000 clients, 5,000 clients, and then they start up a mortgage arm and they get it started and it goes nowhere, and then they wonder why. They just almost like expect it to organically
Mm,
filter across. There's no strategy of offering and embedding or integrating that new service proposition into their offer. It just becomes a now there's fries over there too.
correct.
And sticking with McDonald's as an example, it doesn't just go to McDonald's. It's all of these fast food providers. Listeners, you've probably noticed this already in that if you go into McDonald's or one of those takeaway joints these days, have you ever looked at the menu? If you look at the menu, what is 95% of it? 95% of it are ads for the combos, isn't it, Ash? It's
Mm.
combo one, combo two, combo three, combo four. You have to look really hard into the bottom right hand corner to see that, oh, I can actually order a burger by itself, or I can order fries
So true.
separately. And back in the old days, and when for the old days for me, so I'm thinking 30 years ago, for example, I'd go to McDonald's and it would be burgers and fries and all the individual items and the combos. And I think McDonald's is even, and all of the fast food restaurants have done this. They've moved away from having to do the do you want fries with that. And it's now just assumed that when people come in, they look at the menu and they get a combo. So even McDonald's is leading with the combos. And that's exactly what we want to shift the conversation towards: how to cross sell, upsell, side sell without selling. It's to make the combo the default.
It's a status
Now,
shift, even at McDonald's, James. That's even a
yeah,
status shift at McDonald's, is
yeah,
they are saying to their clients, we know what you want better than you do, subtly. We know you want a combo. We're going to make it easy. And you know what, James? If you that example, when you try to order things individually, what does the person at the drive-through say to you? Oh, do you want the so-and-so combo? It's actually slightly cheaper to buy it in a combo than the way you want to buy it.
yeah.
They are trained within an inch of their life, which is what McDonald's do exceedingly well,
Mm-hmm.
to push clients every single time to the combo, even if that's not what they say they want. So shifting back to what you said about how to approach this with your own business, I think there's a little bit of disassembling required here. My starting point, James, I'm interested in your feedback or thoughts on this, is if assuming that we're talking to mortgage brokers, right? We're not talking to accountants wanting to start a mortgage broking business right now, even though what you said is really valid. You know, accountants, if you want to start a mortgage business, give us a call. We'll tell you how to do it properly.
Yeah,
It's another
I was going to say
conversation.
that is definitely a side conversation. If you're an accountant or you're a financial planning business, don't start a mortgage business before talking to us. You will probably stuff it up. I'm sorry, you're probably incredibly smart and switched on and savvy. It's completely different, and we've seen plenty of smart, switched on, capable, very successful accounting businesses and financial planning businesses stuff it up. So yeah,
Not lack of
don't do that
intelligence.
without any. No,
No,
no, yeah,
no, it's not lack of IQ. So
mm,
we've got to take this position of twofold is number one, the mindset shift that positions the mortgage experience at the top of the waterfall. You've got to
yeah,
take that mindset shift. It's got to be this is the most important financial transaction in the person's life. It supersedes their accounting, it supersedes their insurance, it supersedes financial planning. Even right at that moment, it technically supersedes wealth creation, right? Because it's a gaping wound that needs to be fixed. So that's the first thing, status, right at the top. It's number one. Number two, I think you've got to prove over time that you can deliver, win and deliver clients with that proposition before you then go out to the marketplace and say, right, what model do I want for diversification? Do I want to start with having some like-minded professionals that can deliver services to my client that can also deliver me clients? That's probably a good point or good place to start, right, James?
mm,
And I know we teach this a lot, and we're touching on it here in this episode, is the best way to set up that sort of multifaceted relationship is to initially start working on yourself, your mindset, and about the status that you hold in the client's life, right? Because if you go in any other way, all those other providers, trust me, they see you as of lower status.
Yeah, that's a really good one because yeah, if you don't truly believe it, you're not going to sell it effectively. You're not going to follow through in your business. And then, as you said, if the strategy is to align yourself with other providers, they also won't play ball if you haven't had that mindset shift, which is crucial. I think yeah, when it comes to the how and a little more details on how to do this, it does follow on from what we've talked about the last couple of weeks around people want someone to take control. They want someone to give them peace of mind, elevate the conversation towards their bigger picture wants and their goals and dreams in life. So that's what we talked about the last 2 weeks. And cross-selling and upselling and side selling, it's no different to what we talked about, Ash, the last 2 weeks. It's when we sit with a client and do what we teach in the trusted advisor space, which is where are you right now? Where would you like to go? What's the gap here? How do we build that bridge and develop desire to cross the bridge? Well, that bridge, if we expand our thinking as mortgage brokers, or if we don't expand our thinking, we probably assume the bridge includes us holding it up. But if we expand it and go bigger, we start to realize, well, we can't help our client achieve that goal ourselves. Yes, they might need a loan and a mortgage, but what else are they going to need? Well, they might need a whole slew of other services and products to help them. It could be anything. They'll need protection and insurance. They might need budgeting and financial planning. They might need investments. They might need somebody to help them locate a really great investment property. They might even need education about budgeting and wealth creation. They could need a whole bunch of things, right, Ash, in that bridge. And the beauty of this methodology of understanding where they're at, where they want to go and building the bridge is that, well, when they say, I want that goal, and you say, well, the way to get to the goal is this bridge, and they say, yes, I want that. Well, all of those products and services are now assumed. It's, well, okay, first we're going to, let's say, refinance and secure your loans. We'll get you a pre-approval for that first investment property. Also, what we're going to do is introduce you to our buyer's agent, who's amazing. We'll help you locate a really high-growth property. We're also going to introduce you to our accountant because, if you don't have an investment savvy accountant that understands property investment, blah, blah, blah. So it's just all assumed in there where protecting your assets via insurances or legal stuff, whatever it is, it's assumed in the combo. You said yes to the combo. The combo is the goal. Like, I want that dream outcome. That's the combo. You can't take pieces out. Like, then it won't work. It won't work. And so there's no like, great, first we're going to get you a loan, and then do you also want, insurance, or do you also want a review of your tax? It's like, well, no, you need a review of your tax. I'm introducing to our trusted partner who's going to review your situation. Oh, I've already got an accountant. That's fine. We're going to review it because we want to make sure. Oh, I've already got insurance. Great. We're going to review it. I'm going to get our trusted partner too. So this is the magic sauce. We're doing a bit of magic sourcing, I guess, in this month. Ash.
We love our magic sauce. Well, look, there's several things that occurred to me while you're talking, James. The second one, I'll obviously get to in a minute. That's obvious. The first one is when you're positioning yourself as a sort of a full service, high status business, right? I think a lot of brokers, in my opinion, make the mistake of putting it up on their website or their digital presence saying, here's all our services. And they think, oh, I can set up all of those business arms really quickly. I actually think that's a mistake with rare exception. I think what you're better to do is to talk about how you help people. Yes, I am a specialist mortgage advisor. However, we take a full holistic view of your circumstance, and here's a list of partners that we work with that we will integrate with for your best interests. And I think if you then get that right, okay, which you should with some, some good coaching and advice and specific strategies, then the second point I want to make is when you go to these partners with a mind of, right, I've got an integrated full service business where I automate the connection to your services. Like it happens every time. The only time I don't do it is when the client opts out, so to speak. So it's not an opt-in, it's an opt-out. So you're not saying, would you like this? You say you're getting it unless you tell me you don't want it, right? So to speak. So I think that to move to my second point is where a lot of these other businesses don't get it right because the broker's not articulating it correctly because they're not doing it themselves. They only refer clients to you when the client raises the need. Now, how often do we hear that from brokers, particularly with accountants and maybe planners, that they refer the odd client, but it's only when the client says, I need that specific kind of help. What we want to see is a relationship with those parties where they automate, based on certain triggers, an introduction of their client to you every time. It's a standard operating procedure, not an anecdotal occasionally procedure. But you can't ask them to do that if you're not doing it.
Yeah, that's
So
perfect.
that's where you can really pack together high impact, high value relationships, but you've got to get it right for yourself internally first. So you might want to go out to these partners and say, hey, I'm building a business. I've got a team. It looks like this. And here's what here's the way I like to look after my clients. And I'm looking for a relationship with, A, B, C, D. Can we have a chat about that? And then you start to prove the validity of your proposition. And then the expectation is you want the same in return. Otherwise, you end up with a one-way relationship because we all know, right, James, mortgage brokers are very good referrers, right? We're very good at referring, right? Because clients have laid their guts out on the table, so to speak. You know exactly what's going on, where they need help, accounting, insurance, planning, property, buyer's advocate, lawyer, whatever it happens to be. So it's quite easy for us to do that introduction. Not all of those other providers find it as easy. Part of its status, part of its process, and part of its expectations. So I think if everybody's listening to this episode and listen to it over and over again, you should be able to extract out of this, I hope, the right pathway or order of events in order to accomplish this integrated relationship. Then, perhaps down the track, when you've got this pumping, if you want to have your own internal accounting division, who knows? Maybe do a deal with the accountant you've been working with for 2 years to create a joint venture.
Yeah. Oh, the benefits of doing this are massive, aren't they?
Mm.
We're talking. I know the words cross sell, upsell, side sell. That could almost rub people up the wrong way, right? We're talking about selling and trying to make more money from clients. It's like, well, no, actually, we're trying to help people with stuff that they actually need. Selling gets a really bad rap, and I think people approach it, and that's why they avoid it because they think it's selling something, um, whereas it's actually giving people what they really need. So, but yeah, the benefits of doing this are massive, as you were just outlining. Then, for our listeners that want to build more substantial businesses and you're looking to develop referral partnerships, well, yeah, if you do this with your clients, then all of your partners would be an expectation they do the same for you. So, if you want to know how to make partnerships work at the highest level and have that true integrated offering, great. The accountant business doesn't need to be within your walls, but there will be a expectation that they send all of their clients to you and you send all of your clients to them, at least for some sort of initial review that's been embedded into the process. And that's where you can get some really strong lead flow for partnerships. You know, that's where massive businesses are built. It takes time, when you get the right people, it's incredibly valuable. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. It's an exciting space, and I think I would just, advise everyone listening to this to take this information on board. Be excited about the opportunity, but keep your head about you. This is where getting strategic support and advice from us or someone you trust, but preferably us, to help lay this out and go about it methodically to build it and execute it with the right actions at the right time, rather than getting overwhelmed by the size of the opportunity and everything that you think you need to do whilst you're still trying to write loans and pay the bills and do everything else in your business. That's where they tend to lose momentum and steam, and don't yield the fruit that they have the potential to do. And that's a pity.
yep,
As you say, there's a small percentage who do this super well, but the vast, vast majority, they understand intellectually the concept, but the capacity to strategize it out and execute it methodically, is the missing link. So this is the guide. The next step is, pick up the phone and call us. Like, this is what we do.
mm,
Right? Honestly,
that's
like,
true.
this is what we live,
Yeah,
eat, sleep, and breathe, as well as running a
that's great.
podcast, is actually help you do this.
That's true. Yeah, I guess, listeners, we probably make it sound easier than it actually is. Like we're giving you the pretty high level ABCs of what to do, but the detail and the nuance around what the scripting and framework is and how do you adjust your own mindset over time to stick to this. That's why we have advisors, us, and coaches and frameworks and scripts and a resource and a community to make sure you actually embed these things in your business, because there's a lot of good ideas that might sound good, but actually executing on them is an entirely different kettle of fish. As Ash said perfectly, like there's lots of strategies to build your business and move it forward, and you're still trying to write loans to put, money coming through into the account. So it's complex, getting towards your goal, and just in the way that all of you as brokers and listeners should be working with your clients to work out where they're at, where they want to go, and building that bridge. We kind of do the same with all of you. Like, we want to learn all about you. We want to learn what your goals are. We're going to help you build the bridge, show you our blueprint, give you all the tools so that you can just walk over it with our help. Because as great as this podcast is, we hope it is, Ash, as great as this
Of course
podcast
it
is,
is.
a bit of self-aggrandizement. It's a great podcast. As great as this podcast is not a substitute for the advice and coaching ongoing to actually get this stuff done in your business. And we may have, I know we have thousands of listeners around the world, which is awesome. But you could have listened to every single episode, but have you done anything? Have you actually got the results? And it just proves that, yes, these are great ideas and we're sharing the high level strategies, but the real wins and results are done in the ring with us as advisors, with your coach, following the resources and other go-getters like you. So as Ash said, jump over to our website and have a chat with the team and let's see if we can help you too. So more coming next week, Ash. More coming next week. We'll
Yeah, I love this
continue.
conversation. Yeah, yeah. Look, I love it. And I hope everyone's picking up the link from one to the other to the other. And this series of episodes are really going to give you the framework, the ideas, the intel, hopefully some wisdom to see how it applies to you, and then take the next step.
100%. This has been fun. We've been talking about serious stuff, but it's always fun.
Oh, we
Hopefully you
love it.
got,
We love it.
yeah. Hopefully, listeners, you're learning something and you're having a bit of fun. Hopefully, it feels like you're, in a fly on the wall and part of this conversation. Yes. Okay, let's leave it there. Listeners, we'll see you next week, same time. Ash, I guess I'll do the same. And stay well, stay good, keep at it, and have a great week.
The Men in Black will be back next week. See you then.
Done deal. Bye, everybody.